You found it, the new place for you to enjoy the hobby of grand, strategic, black powder 19th century combat tactical gameplay. It's alternate history gaming with me, Bank 60s, your humble and gracious player host. Do me a favor, click that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. We're growing. I want to try to hit 1,500 subscribers by the new year. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and thanks again. I want to finish this campaign as the Union, win or lose, and I'll switch over and I'll play as the South. And I wanted to make sure that I played the North first. There were two reasons for that. I felt like it would allow me some time and some space to actually learn everything in the game, which it has. And I also felt like that as the North, you can really prosecute the war the way that you want. And I felt like it could be better in terms of immersion and role play a little bit more as the North. Like, what I was afraid of is playing as the South, that there would be like, the North would just do insane, unpredictable, insane stuff. That's what I was kind of afraid of, and it would negatively impact my playing experience. You know, that's pretty much what I was afraid of. There's a lot of mechanics to learn too, Stoic. It's an impressive game. The more that I have dug into this, the more I learned about how to play the battles, the more I've learned about how everything works in the campaign, the more impressed I am with this game, the more excited I'm getting for what Grand Tactician has to come. You know, and that's something that I would be willing to talk about. Maybe I clip this out. Like, I know that they came out with the Whiskey and Lemons DLC, right? And it's kind of like more of an RPG focus or a role play type gameplay focus, and it disappointed a lot of people, but I kind of understand. Like, I kind of they by making that DLC, it seemed to me like they veered away from what it was they intended for the game to be. They were just kind of fulfilling a demand. Players were not fully understanding all the systems in the game with the economics in particular. Even though you can have the AI manage that stuff, I just like to challenge myself to do it myself, and a lot of other players feel the same way. But players weren't really getting that, and they were being overwhelmed by it. And I think there was a demand for there to be just a simpler, character-based, militant or military-based, campaign, operational-based mode in the game. And they tried to produce that for folks. The problem was that your command would do what you wanted to do, but the AI would be in control of literally everything else and would do all kinds of crazy, weird, stupid stuff. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I never really trusted to download the Whiskey and Lemons DLC for Grand Tactician. I love this base game product that they've put together right here. And it's the way that I think that their system was built. It's what it was built for. And it seems to me anyway, once you kind of figured your way through all of the complexities to work really darn well. I know some of the background that there are some familiar systems that I see in this game that I experienced when I was still playing like the AHG Civil War games. They did two of them. It was AHG Civil War 1861 to 1865, and then there was Civil War II, made by the same people. I think some of the same people are involved in this. I don't know that for sure. If anybody wants to confirm that in the comments or in chat, of course, welcome to do that. But there's a lot that's familiar to me. And I'm reminded of what it was like to play those other games. And here's the other thing. So I read into the manual, credit rating is a bad thing. You don't lose the game if your credit rating goes too low. But if it goes below B minus, then Congress effectively doesn't let you do any more discretionary spending on military. They don't let you build any more ships. They don't let you build any more brigades or anything like that. You have to repair the credit rating before you can actually build anything else. And there's our military policy too. Union strengthens its military. More money to the military. Politicians debate the recruitment of black troops. Less men to renew contracts. Let's read about this. The U.S. Congress has agreed further financing of the military. This funding can be spent on recruitment, trade warfare, internal security, military reforms, and introduction of new and more advanced weapons for the Army and the Navy. As the field armies grow, more volunteers are needed to fill the ranks. The government is preparing new recruitment laws using a carrot and a stick. Payment of bounties could increase the number of volunteers while also increasing recruitment costs. Forced conscription would allow forcing men of fighting age to take up arms and join the military. But this could lead to unrest across the nation. Allowing black citizens to join the military would be another source of recruits, but such a radical idea would require further political steps that would meet further and much more vigorous resistance in the South. Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah, we get all of these. So this helps us unlock orders for... I think that's what this means. Repeating rifles. Finance the introduction and mass production of very rapid-firing, lever-action repeating rifles in the military. Now, this is where my idea originally coming into this campaign could play out, where I have an actual dedicated cavalry army that's armed with all of this. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Henry and Spencer rifles designed as recently as 1860. Their main advantage, the rapid rate of fire, is also the reason generals have their suspicions about the weapons. As the soldiers can consume their load of ammunition very rapidly, there are worries that the men would simply burn through the ammunition and then fall back, or some other similar folly. Oh, now that's interesting. Finance mass production of breech-loading Sharps rifles and carbines designed by Christian Sharps in 1848. These very accurate weapons saw use during the Bleeding Kansas crisis in the mid-1850s, late 1850s. The Sharps carbine, in particular, is preferred by many cavalry troopers, and it has the potential of becoming the standard cavalry carbine for the U.S. Army. But arming infantry units with such rapid-firing weapons has been rejected as impractical due to ammo consumption and hence logistical challenges. So you got to think about all that stuff too, man. That is fascinating. You always think about, like, why did they end up arming all of the infantrymen with those single-shot muskets that took so long to load, had such bad rate of fire? You got to think about how many bullets were available. Sometimes you don't think about that, I guess. First of all, the Springfield muskets and the rifled muskets were cheaper to make. They were cheaper to make and arm a lot of guys with. And then there was only so much ammunition available. Couldn't have guys eating that all up. And then here we go with some of the ironclads that we can bring in. This is so freaking cool. Like I say, man, this game, in terms of kind of what's at the core of my channel and what I want to do here, alternate history gaming, this is and doing Civil War and 19th century stuff, this is it right here. This is really just it. All right, now we're going to go into a detailed production list. For all of those watching at home, please bear with me. I appreciate you. We're going to get into the details. Look under the hood of this great alternate history game now, baby. All right, buildings and production. We want Union, not Confederacy. We'll take not sea trade. Right? All right, so we got farms out the wazoo. We got mines, lead, iron, copper, coal. I see. Let's do, how many foundries do we already have? Okay, not that many. So foundries use, what do they use to make these things, though? That's my question. Got good efficiency. Not many workers in any of these places. Ironworks. Woo! Okay. We got a lot of these. Yeah, that's why we were churning out so many artillery guns. Goods and trade. Yeah, I don't know. This is something that I need to learn more about. This is where you learn about what it costs to make everything. Okay. So we need these to make the artillery, which I think we're getting plenty of. Artillery ammunition requires what? Iron and gunpowder. Okay. Before I play the Confederates, knowing about all this, I think will be very important, especially if I want to try to micromanage all of it. That's going to be important. So steel, like it tells you right here that what makes everything, right? Gold doesn't cost anything to make that. Forage, right? Same thing. Fish and crops, cotton. It just, you have to use stuff to make things like this. Clothing, which takes, what? Textiles and leather. But what makes textiles and leather, right? We do have some plantations in Illinois. Produce a little bit of cotton. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Probably gonna have to address more of this in the winter time. Really. For now, back to the fun stuff, yeah?